Or would you be ashamed? We got a lot of shame looks on, as my wife would say, I don't like to tell you kids, but there's a lot of shame out there. I've had kids come to me, women, and I slag women off enough, but this is a special slag. Talk to their mothers 15 times a day on the phone. 15 fucking times a day. And mom's not sick, nothing wrong with her. The daughter's sick, big time. How can you possibly do anything positive 15 times on the phone with your mom? And I only have 3 regrets. Speaking of mom, 1, I'm a combat trained military officer who's never seen combat. 2, the night before my mother died, I yelled at her, God damn it, you're not fucking sick, you're not fucking sick, you're gonna be well by tomorrow. She's dead in the night. And 3, I didn't set my goals high enough. Those are my regrets. And if I didn't set my goals high enough, the men in the audience, their eggs should be sucked up into their stomach cavity. I don't know what the equivalent there are for women, but you know what I mean. Nothing I can do, but I've tried to, well anyway, I won't tell you about my mercenary days, but anyway, can't do anything about my mom, but I sure as hell can do something about the goals, and that's why I continue to pound and beat the kids, metaphorically now, because I'm in the regret minimization. Remember, it's wealth, risk, reward, not. I'm in the regret minimization business. I'm trying to limit your regrets, you old git, from 20, 30 years from now. Now, I'm a hell of a world-class eulogy speaker. When you die, you tell your wife, she's still alive, get Dan to say my eulogy for me. So I normally go to the hospital while they're gasping for air, and I say, well, what do you want me to say about you? You want me to lie? What do you want? Tell me. And they say, and not one single one to date has ever said that they regret missing their daughter's Sweet 16, missing their son's football this. Every single one of them, 100%, have all said, I regret not taking this risk. I regret not taking that risk. I regret not going into business with you 25 years ago, Dan. They regret the things they didn't do. More specifically, they regret the risks they didn't take. Again, wealth, risk, reward, not. It's the not because of all these things I've alluded to, some specifically. And I see it getting worse and worse. I'd like to be an optimist here, but I can't be, because I'd be a lying fucking git personal development slime ball if I was told you things are getting better. They're getting worse! I mean, the state of the world today, as compared to when I started giving high performance coaching in 1993, is infinitely worse off. In those days, we had 3 to 5 to 6% of the kids were snowflakes. Now we got 90%. Now, some of you won't even be able to relate to what I'm about to say. And this is mostly young men, not young women, because you wouldn't want young women to do what I'm about to say. But a stiff drink and a good fuck could kill 99% of the guys that walk the face of the earth that are less than 30. That's a sad motherfucking commentary on life. You want a man sleeping next to you, or you want to... I rest my case on that. Although it's one of my favorite topics. I'll rest my case on that. Now, I'm not going to ask you how many books you've read, because I don't want to embarrass you. But I know people that have read more than the 700 books at 19, 20. I have not read, I should be ashamed of this, but I'm not. I have not read 700 books in my entire life. And when I say I don't read, I've read the classics. I've read Shakespeare. I've read the goddamn Bible. But I sure shit haven't read the books that you guys read. Because you read them because it's your form of procrastination. Because you've been told by somebody wrongfully that reading is taking action. There's a high performance guy out there right now, which I'm not going to use his name, that supposedly reads 2 books a day or 2 books an hour or some shit, I don't know. And so now a bunch of you monkeys are trying to do the same thing. One of my most successful mentees has only read 1 book in his life. Some people say he can't read or write, but I don't care if he can. He's read my book 15, 20 times, and it's not for sale, so please, don't ask me. It's not for sale. Why did I stop selling it many years ago? Because somebody showed, what's the name there? The thing is you can put on a bogus internet and I didn't know torrent existed. Somebody showed me my book on torrent. That wasn't bad enough. Then somebody showed me my book, my real book, for sale for $9,950 on eBay. $9,950. I said, that's it. I mean, let that guy reprint the goddamn book. I mean, I stopped selling the book. Corn, that's right. That was a real revelation to me. I didn't know stuff like that existed. But now I put everything on my site for free. Last several years. Why do I put it on for free? To take the last fucking excuse from you weenie, why you can't do it. It's all for free, snowflake. You know what they say now? Again, wealth, risk, reward. Now, I don't know where to start, Mr. Baker. Where do I start? Jesus Christ, I don't know. You got thousands of Baker. What do I do? What you ought to do, no, metaphorically, what you ought to do is swallow a fucking revolver, snowflake. Where do I start? What do I do? And by the way, I'm not faking it. We get calls like that. But I mean, it's like water off a duck's back now. I've heard it so many times. I don't give a shit. Let them go fucking jump in I used to say jump in a river, but I mean, whatever, you know what I mean. Okay, wealth, risk, reward, not. So you were raised the way you were raised, who were raised the one, blah, 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 okay. And you don't understand the really risk reward. You don't understand. And some of you define reward as one thing. Some of you in this room, hopefully, their risk is your reward. Hopefully. I have no documentation to back that up. But hope springs eternal, and even I can hope when I know it's not going to come true. Now, one of the other things, again, wealth, risk, reward, not. When I was growing up, about the same time I dropped the thing on the teacher, I believed in Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, and that kind of stuff until I was 11 years old or more or less.